who experience difficulty breathing, fainting, or extended nausea. After touching the chip, wash your hands with soap and do not touch your eyes or other sensitive areas. This is the one chip challenge. It is, we're going to see how difficult it is, and but we're going to add a little spicy twist. You see what I did there? You see? Yeah. I'm going to see if I can sing after eating this, because clearly I hate myself. Now, for those who have never done super spicy food, this is not my first rodeo, but two things. One, don't do this. And then two, wear gloves. I'm like psyching myself up for this. This is, by the way, this is the best use for an eye pencil that I've ever had. Okay, that's not working. I got the gloves and I forgot to prep, you know, to the whole part of like opening the darn thing. Have anything here? I might have to retrieve a sharp object. Or we just popped it open. Okay, so this is my version of an unboxing video. I don't know. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look at that. Look at that. It's not enough that it comes in one package. You gotta put another package on it. That's how spicy this thing is. Okay, now before we do this, we need to have a baseline. We need to know how I sing in general. So let's quickly go over a little bit of that singing, just so you understand that we're going to do. And we're going to judge based on Mozart. In classical singing, Mozart is generally considered kind of a really good baseline to judge how you're doing. It hangs up in the high areas of the voice for really long sets of time. It doesn't go crazy high, but it sits right at the beginning of the high end of the voice. So it's exhausting if you're doing it wrong. So here's a little Mozart. Here we go. Un'aura amorosa del nostro tesoro. Now let's get to the high part of this one. My favorite part about recording, you get to take two. But I did warm up, kind of. So let's see how I do this. Un dolce ristoro. All right, that's our baseline. So, un dolce ristoro. That's a face. I would hit a Mariah high note, Jesse, but I can't. we leave Mariah high notes to Mariah. Okay. Maybe Shantae. There are a couple of singers who can keep up, but I'm not one of them. Oh, my heart is fucking beating super fast. I do spicy stuff, but this is Carolina Reaper and Ghost Pepper. For those who are not aware, Carolina Reaper is now the spiciest hot pepper on the face of the earth. Jalapeno sits at about 4,000 Scovilles, okay? 4,000 Scovilles. Oh god, I can smell it. Oh my god. Oh my god. shit. Oh, snap. Someone told me. Apparently, I don't know how you know this, Defiant, but I'm glad you're here. So Pepper X is now the spiciest pepper on the face of the earth. Also made by the guy who made the Carolina Reaper. This man is an evil genius. But a jalapeno sits at 4,000 Scovilles. A habanero, I think, at roughly 10 to 20,000, depending on how fresh it is. A Carolina Reaper, 2 million Scovilles. Now, luckily, it's... oh my god. Just smelling it. Oh, what am I doing? Woo! Alright. 2 million Scovilles. It is dashed with a ghost pepper. A ghost pepper is 1 million Scovilles, a little bit over that. But ghost pepper doesn't go away. That's what makes it really, really terrible. And that's the ghost in ghost pepper, is it just doesn't go away. So this is going to linger. Oh, look at that. That's a nice quality. Look at that. Look at that. That's like a blue corn chip kind of thing. Why are we doing this? 2 reasons. One, I've been struggling a little bit with depression recently. Capsaicin is a stimulant. So that's one reason. The second reason, challenge videos are doing very, very well on YouTube. The third reason, I actually like doing this shit. All right, here we go. I actually, you know what, I should probably use the box to kind of deal with the crumbs, because if the crumbs get on my dog, oh my god, I'm pretty sure that's not going to go well. Fuck. Alright. Oh my god, right off. Fuck. Oh my god. The flavor is nice, it's like a bit... It's like a fair bit of Tabasco, like on the front, but then the Carolina Reaper, it's an... Oh god, that's rough. All right, that's one bite. Let's see how I sound. Oh god, I need to get my pitch. Is this hand? Yeah. Un'aura amorosa del nostro tesoro, un dolce... I'll skip to the high part. Un dolce... It's actually helping a little bit, which is weird, because, like... when you sing really high stuff, or like stuff that stays high, you need a really active posture. There's a lot of people like jog in place and stuff like that. Oh my god, it's not going away. That's one bite. By the way, I do this a lot. I have... Oh, fuck. Oh, this hurts. Oh god. Jesus, take the wheel. Here we go. The dust as I bit went up in my nose. Oh, fuck. I'm trying to keep it on my teeth so it doesn't fucking go on my tongue. Oh my god. This is... Oh. Alright, well... we've done one bite of the chip and see how... and seeing how singing goes. So it's not fair if we do it one again. That's not a challenge. Oh god. So we gotta do 2 bites. Oh god. This is a chip you don't want crumbs. Oh my god. The structure of the chip is really nice. It's not thin. Oh my god. All right. Let's see. I gotta use the other hand for the mouse. Let's get that. Let's get that. Fuck. Water actually doesn't help that much. But I'm desperate. All right. Fuck, that's getting better. Oh my god. That's getting way better. I found the secret to warming up. It's like way better. That feels really nice. I'm actually going to change the song. I'm going to change the song. We need something harder. Oh god. We're going to go with Verdi. Bella figlia dell'amore, quavo sanni questi tuoi. Inhale a bit. Come un detto sol, tua man, le mie bene consola. Oh god, it's actually like it's moved away from a sting. There's like it's almost like I'm getting stabbed. It's really tough. All right, but high notes. Let's see. No, Anya. I know you're concerned, but you gotta get away. Palpitar, consolar, comunda. Honestly, that's some of the easiest. That's the easiest B flat I've hit in a really long time. That's a pretty high note. Okay, so one chip, we have a really nice A natural. Okay, two. Every time the chip is closed, I do that. It comes in my. All right. So three must mean that I can do Nessun Dorma. All right. That's the A natural in Nessun Dorma, but it goes up at B. All right, does that. Vincero! Not good. The mouth is really wide open. That's not what you want. What I'm trying to do, ideally, is really straighten out my back so that the shortening of the vocal tract happens from the inside. Because the longer the vocal tract is going to be... Fuck. The longer the vocal tract, it's going to highlight lower frequencies, and so it's not going to sound like a really good low note. Or a high note, unless I shorten the vocal tract. And so an amateur way to do, a bad way, an unhealthy way to do that is open your mouth really wide, like, right? It shortens. But ideally, you want some of that happening kind of with your pharynx and in the back. Okay. So that was two. Let's do three. Oh, God. Fuck. One of the best advices I ever got from my dance instructor when I briefly took dance. It was terrible. I was as graceful as, well, I guess as I am right now. But, you know, you wear these dance belts where he said, just accept the string. So, Now I just have to accept the pain. I'm gonna eat this in one go. And we're gonna count it as 3. Okay. Every time I swallow, there's pain. Oh, give me 1 second. Okay. Fuck me. Okay. Oh god. I don't have milk. I'm vegan. Oh god. Although honestly, I'd fucking cheat. I'd cheat for this. It's so painful. Woo! Okay. Oh my god. Ah. Fuck. Let's go, Noisendorma. Vincana! Honestly, woo, that's the best Be Natural I've ever heard in my life. People say you gotta suffer for your art. I don't think they meant this, though. Oh, God. We did it. It's the 1 chip challenge. Woo! Folks in the chat saying that water makes it worse and that milk helps it, and that's because the way that this is delivered, usually spicy is delivered through oils. Well, that's not the case for a dusted product like this. Water actually does help get it down, but obviously if I had something that had lipids in it, like a milk or a cream, or even just something hot to wipe it all down. Oh boy! That is gonna come out the other end. Oh boy! Oh, fuck me. Alright. Let's try for a high C, though. Let's try for a high C. I've never hit a high C in my life, so there was a time. Oh my god. I'm thinking of Kejalita Manina. It's hard to focus on what. La Speranza. What's the note? No. We're gonna have to get Pavarotti over here doing it in a second. Fuck me. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you so much, Robert. I will actually order. I'm gonna go to the store to use that for milk. No, my vocal cords are happy, man. They're doing great. It's the rest of me, including my self-respect, that's struggling. Oh, god damn. Sorry for those who are religious. Sorry. I appreciate that. Understanding. All right, that's the great Pavarotti, late Pavarotti, singing Nessun Dorma. This is a very difficult high C. Listen, there we go. Never hit a high C in my life, but this has been helping so far. Whew. Lost man, not happening. There's only so much I can do. Oh my god. All right. Clearly. Fuck. I got the B flat. I got the B. That was the cleanest B I ever hit in my life. That high C isn't gonna come. Next time I'll warm up a little bit more and we'll try something spicier. Am I gonna tell you to subscribe because I'm gonna do this again? I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't suggest that you should subscribe so that you can see an individual's pain and suffering for their art. I would not ever suggest that you would subscribe, or the button down below, or that you would hit the bell. Oh, that B you didn't hear, Barracuda. It was real. It was nice. It was. There we go. It was Nessun Dorma. Vincendo. It's not. Oh. Whoo. That wasn't as good as the last one. Oh. Oh god. Okay, I gotta go get milk. I gotta go get something. Oh god. Oh fuck. All right. Fuck me. Oh. Oh. Okay, considering. All right. My wife was scared to be near me. She didn't want to get touched by it. So I actually wasn't able to get any soy milk or anything like that. But the love that I felt from being sent away, the pain of that has made the pain in my mouth subside. I might get a sledgehammer to the foot just to really... Fuck. Oh. It's calming down though. It's calming down. That's one of the nice things about these spicy powders that are on the chip there. It's not going to stay on the palate like an oil from an actual pepper would. Oh god, my heart is like pounding. Oh. For all those who might struggle with depression, fuck. It's like a kick in the nuts. It's hard to think about the pain and agony of your own depression when you are eating pure pain and agony. Also, capsaicin being a stimulant, good for your emotional health, I think. Oh my god. Fuck. I mean, those are some of the best high notes I've ever had in my life, so, you know. So I would say that does spicy food, like ridiculously spicy food, help you with your singing? So before we had, we were hitting high notes. That was an A natural, right? So, now we're after, right? So before we were hitting A natural. And then after we were hitting B natural really, really easily. One of them was really, really clean. What's that?
Brad.
Thanks. Oh my god.
You're an idiot.
I know. She got me bread. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. Capsaicin is absolutely a high. I'm not going to talk much about one of the previous ingredients in Coca-Cola, why it became called Coca-Cola. What could I possibly be referencing? I don't know. It's a much healthier, I think, way to go about it than that particular thing. I'm like wiping my entire tongue down with this bread. So the reason why this works, when you have, oh god, as you go for higher notes, the folds thin out. And if you want to hit, like, big, epic, operatic high notes, you have to keep them together. And so one of the ways you do that is you don't put as much air behind the note. You need less air coming out of your face hole for higher notes. That is not to be, less air means more support. What is support? Support is when your entire torso, or anything that affects your torso, so really your entire body, is expanding in order to suspend the exhalation. And so when you do this, when you're in pain, your body wakes up like crazy. Oh, fuck me. Oh, no. I put them in the big ass trash bag. I didn't put that shit in the bathroom trash bag. That's in the kitchen one. She's a good dog. She's never gone for the trash can before. But what I did is I took the glove off and wrapped it in the other glove and then put it in there. Thank you, by the way, Robert. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the support there. That really helps. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's coming down. It's coming down. Oh yeah. That'll be the next one. I have a and by the way, for those who might be concerned as to why I'm doing this, I love spicy food. Like, I do these challenges with my brother. It's like a family bonding thing. So oh my god, oh god, no. Inward bass, especially with like these powdered ones, like I even just like if the chip went near my nose, I was like, oh no, I wouldn't want to do this one. The next one I have is I think it's a concentrate. It's what is it called? Like it's when you have extract. It's an extract. So like, you know, when you want a lot of vanilla or almond flavor, you get an almond or vanilla extract. And then it's basically like the purest form of the bean or the almond in liquid form that you could possibly achieve. Most hot sauces are not extracts. I actually have an extract. And so that keeps it at the spice level of the actual pepper itself. Whereas these powdered things, they touch air and they oxidize. So even though a Carolina Reaper sits at 2 million Scovilles at its hottest, a little bit higher than that, 2.3 mil. When you have these powders, they're significantly reduced in capsaicin in the intensity. I would say that that was probably 200,000 based off of nothing other than intuition and having eaten a lot of spicy shit. Question. Is it possible to have the vocal folds in the same position as distance apart when vibrating, yet more taut, so they allow less air to pass through? That's actually very much the purpose of a thyroid cartilage tilt. I'll explain that for a second, because I was going to use I'll do this. All right. Okay. So say these are your vocal folds, okay? Ordinarily, they're a little lax. When you put air through them, they kind of come together a little bit by virtue of what's called the Bernoulli effect. And I always feel like I give this explanation, and I always feel like maybe I'm boring people, but it's a question that comes up a lot, and so I'm glad that like I can give this explanation again, and it's valuable. So what's happening there is that the pressure inside of the two cards, I'm pushing away pressure, so the pressure on the outside of the cards is greater than the pressure inside, and nature pours a vacuum, right? So they come together. That's how the folds work. So when you breathe together, boom. Now there does become a point where there's too much breath, and so then they just like flip open like that, and they kind of just vibrate like that. The vocal folds are attached to the thyroid cartilage right here. They're in the back, and then in the front they're connected to the thyroid cartilage. So what happens is when you tilt your thyroid cartilage, this happens, right? And that creates that level of tautness that keeps them together. So that's what does that. The alternative is to belt. Yeah, you need less air, but also there, you know, I don't like you would want a thyroid cartilage tilt, or belting does kind of the opposite. So belting, so there's the thyroid cartilage, then there's the cricoid cartilage at the base of the larynx. If you just kind of feel under your thyroid, it's like directly under. It's very kind of very strong piece of cartilage. And so what that'll do is it'll tilt, and that'll bring the vocal folds closer together. So it's the opposite, but it'll bunch them together. Let me get a more accurate. So it'll like bunch them together like that, which is why belting is so dangerous if done wrong. Because, now let me take my ring off for this because I've made that mistake too often. So if the folds are like this during a thyroid cartilage tilt, and they're like this during a cricoid tilt, aka belting, if you blow too much air, this happens. And so what happens with a belt that has too much behind it is that because the cricoid is tilted, there's this opening of the folds, and then they slam together because the cricoid is still tilted. If you blow it open and you let go of your cricoid immediately, there's no issue. but I don't know anybody who can just like on off. There's always a range of motion, so you can assume that if you are belting, the cricoid cartilage is not going to untilt in time to protect you. And so that's why oftentimes belting is associated with a vocal hemorrhage. Now, here's a fun fact, because oftentimes classically trained people use this as like almost like an elitist thing. The most common cause of injury in the human voice is belting. However, the second most common injury comes from opera singing. Now, you have to ask yourself, when someone's a trained opera singer, they spend over a decade learning how to do it. People who belt often do so without guidance. A few simple ways of putting like guardrails on practicing belting, for the most part, makes it fine. So if you are in a spot with belting where you need less air, otherwise you'll hurt yourself, just exhale everything before you sing. Right? Everything. It's not going to be everything, because that would be called a collapsed lung and you'd be dead. I assure you, a good solid exhale is not going to cause the collapsed lung. It's often associated with something like a car accident. So, oops, wrong pedal. So if you take in as much as you can, you'll feel your entire torso expanding. Right? Now, from there, use your pubis, so that the muscle right on the belt line. Inhale everything. Then pubis contracts a little bit. Notice how my posture didn't collapse. So, and I'm belting. Now, I'm not great at belting, but that's how I teach it. Because notice that it wasn't terribly high. Yeah, just stay flat. But that's how I teach belting, because you need those guardrails, and it's remarkably effective to do it that way. Sorry, I'm like banging my eye pencil on the ground. Boy, I could take a nap. The problem is I can't take a nap because my I can't take a nap, because if I do, oh, this is gonna come right up and cause acid reflux. Yeah, there's nothing like that's not lip. Yeah, that's an old school mentality of marketing. Well, not really. We expect celebrities to be perfect people. We don't expect that from influencers. So, which is really, really nice and relieving. So I don't know what Mariah Carey goes through. She's been a celebrity for a few decades, so the double entendre gets you high. Sorry, yeah, spit out the saliva. It's gonna make the bread sopping. Capsaicin. There are two muscles that control the vocal folds. There are many muscles that affect the vocal folds. There's quite a few. Spit cup. Ting, I would do that, except that doesn't make a good video. No one wants to see, like, spitting in a cup. Maybe they do. I don't know. I wouldn't want to watch that. It's gross. It's terrible for beatboxing. That's definitely the next one. So I'm going to get the concentrate, or the extract. The hot sauce, the extract, is called One Fucking Drop at a Time. That's literally on the label. That's what it's called. Which makes the thumbnail super easy, because I just do that, and then I bleep out the F-bomb. Oh, the bin wing? Oh, the bomb wing? Man, I really wish 9/11 didn't kill the 90s expression of the bomb. You kind of had to stop saying the bomb when you were boarding planes, so it died. Sorry, I'm still catching up with chat. The source is 6 million Scoville units. You have to sign a waiver to buy it. I believe that. There is, you can get, well, I don't know if you can get it anymore. You used to be able to get capsaicin extract. Pure capsaicin sits at about 16 million Scovilles. For reference. So we're talking, you know, it's a lot. Whoa, God, that's really loud. I should kill the fan. Let me go kill the fan in the corner. I hope that hasn't ruined the audio. Oh my God, my stomach is on fire. Oh God. Yeah, my stomach is on fucking fire right now. I wonder if I do this. Is this gonna help? Is that gonna increase? Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's so much cleaner. Thanks, preamps. Okay. Yeah, I would never do 60 million Scovilles ever in my life. There's limits. Kudos to the people that do it. like there are people that do it. And they're crazy, man. Sorry, I gotta, this is not big enough. That's what she said. All right. I am the world's most inappropriate vocal coach. I swear. All right. So all my life, I always thought the vocal folds were stationary and that moving them together and further apart, never considered that they were being stretched by moving them. You don't need to feel dumb. No one ever explains this shit. No one ever explains this shit. I needed to get a degree, and then I needed to study under people who knew how the anatomy of these things worked. That's how I learned what I learned. And by the way, I had one class on this during my time getting my degree. So you don't have to feel dumb. This is my frustration. But, you know, before I got a formal education, I just Googled the shit out of everything. And the level of bullshit that I ran into is so tremendous. It's ridiculous how much information is bullshit. And the whole like head voice, chest voice, and all that stuff. The reason why there are so many fucking vapid arguments around that shit is because it's not logically consistent. So everyone's always arguing about what's head voice, what's falsetto, what's belt, what's not, because they don't have an objective baseline. They treat head voice as if it's some sort of scientifically proven concept. The same goes with Fach. No scientist ever sat down and was like, let's measure a soprano. That's not true. There have been efforts in it, but inherently the system is flawed. And every singer, every professional singer, specifically in opera for certain, they know this. They know that the Fach system is strictly for auditioning. People look for a certain kind of thing for a role, so they specify roughly the parameters that they're expecting for that role. And therefore, when you want to audition, you look at those roles. So there's a saying that your Fach is whatever you get paid to do, which I think is a better, more useful way to look at it. 20 clip of Mariah Carey on your mind. Full whistle, yeah, with no break. I'll definitely check that out. You know who does that really well, now that I think about it, is Ren. In the beginning of High Ren, when he's singing woo, when he's doing the woos. I don't know what that reference is, but I'd be interested to know. If you have Discord, drop Barracuda. If you could just put that in the suggested. He sits up and elongates his torso right before. Yeah. I'm not bagging her for that. I love her. Yeah, and I didn't think you were doing that. Hey, what's up, Bruno? 100 true drop, good catch. Didn't D-Lo hurt his vocal fold somehow while performing? I wouldn't be surprised. Like a lot of stuff in beatboxing is very extreme. It's very extreme. And yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised. You can still get get it, my husband says. Nice. I believe Diallo tore his uvula or tonsils or something. I have heard that. Yeah, he recovered, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. More about vocal anatomy than I thought even existed. I've heard a lot about the fairy voice method. I used to do videos where I would like react to different vocal coaches because I thought it was fucking hilarious, except like people got really pissed. Like they wouldn't watch the video. Like they would just comment and be like, "You're an asshole." I'm like, "This was just a joke." Now, does that mean I do it again? I'd like to. I'd like to do a reaction to the reaction of a vocal coach. I think that that's funny. I like react battle. I think that that's what I'll do. Instead of like versus coach, I'll do versus react battle. Because that's just fucking stupid. And if people look at that and they think it's serious, then, you know, I can't help people. I need to see Hyren. No, I've never seen him. I think you appreciate her reactions to Stitch. I've been told to watch them. And the conversations with him, I wish I could bring back what was the name of the podcast? Was some I forget what it was. It was a beatboxing podcast I did for like 3 episodes. It's just really hard to line up guests, and the views were not so great. Was it beatboxing? Let's Talk Beatbox. That was what it was. And if I'm thinking of actually getting, if I start getting more income from the channel, which I can do, I just I need to kind of like push myself through like the depressive stuff I'm working through. It's just like I do this, like it's not like a violin, small violin, whatever. Like I just deal with this on the regular. It's a thing, and I've done it like most of my life. So that's actually why I got, and I should actually, like, this was a mistake not to get rid of this. So yeah, but one of the reasons I started enjoying spicy food was because if I feel really bummed in the morning, like I just wake up, I'm like, fuck, man, I'm depressed today. I like this a lot better than coffee because coffee like lasts and you're like, whereas a chip or, you know, or spicy thing. Although I say that, but fuck me, my stomach is on fire. So, geez. Fairy Voice Mother is so sweet, and she's recently gotten into beatbox videos, and she's really good at figuring out and recreating a lot of the sounds. Honestly, the best person for that, Drop Barracuda, if you're interested, is Dr. Reed Blaylock. He's a legit, no exaggeration, he is a scientist of beatboxing. He studies beatboxing through the lens of linguistics, and his studies involve live footage through an MRI. Now, I did an interview with him, but I don't think I plugged his stuff enough. So I really want to plug everyone in the beatbox community should know. Dr. Reed Blaylock has a site, a website. Let me link that in the chat. He has a website where he actually has his MRI footage. And I've tried to do a couple of videos on his stuff, but the reality is that like, the reality is that, come on. Blaylock. Did I spell it wrong? Is it 2 E's? It's 2 E's. All right, it's not EA. Research. You see real-time MRI. I'll put this in the chat. He has he adds more as he can get more time with the MRI machines because, you know, and by the way, he's not a, I made a mistake. I thought he was a doctoral candidate. He's not. He is a full-time 10-year professor. This man is a scientist in every sense of the word. legit beatboxing scientist. So if you love that shit, that's who you need to go to. No shame on the fairy voice mother. You know, she hasn't dedicated 20 years of her life to academic study of beatboxing, right? Putting the convos in the playlist for you. Appreciate that. Always analysis of Gene Metamorphosis gave me so much insight as to what he was doing with that song, including the scales composition. I'll check that out. Because a lot of people put me in the same category as her. You must use head voice to get falsetto. Your folds need to be open and flopping around. That's what gives falsetto the flute quality. Wasn't he in some of the videos? Yeah, he was. Just more head voice with texture, with more air added. I'm not sure what you're saying, Tink, but I know you know what you're talking about. So if you could expand on that. I remember it, please. That'd be great. Thank you. Did it work when I put it in the chat? Probably not, did it? I mean, I guess like you can see it on screen. That can't be allowed because you're basically adding a whisper to head voice. Yeah, the pressure cannot SPL. There's a discussing volume is not easy. Which is hilarious. Because you'd think a lot of people measure sound in decibels. But when you talk about singing, you generally want to talk about sound pressure levels. So the way that sound works is like, you know, the waves will compress the air molecules and then release them. And that's what creates the waves that we see, right? Compression, release, compression, release. And what creates the hertz, the frequency, is from one apex of the waveform to the other. So, but let's focus on sound pressure level. The pressure that builds up under the folds does affect volume. Not as much as frequency range. That's a different, that's why I said volume in terms of singing is a tricky thing. But the reason why falsetto doesn't sound as loud just by nature is because of SPL. The pressure doesn't have it built back. That said, countertenors can get pretty fucking loud. A countertenor is just a falsettist. They're a falsetto specialist. And they use the resonance of the vocal tract, you know, just adjusting their vowels to maximize resonance. And they can get loud. So all that happens with falsetto is, you know, normal and not normal singing. In non-falsetto singing, right, you have closure. In falsetto singing, like this is what happens. And it's just the edges that move. That's what creates the vibrations, or the waveforms, right? The tips are fucking with the sound pressure level and making those waveforms, right? But there's no closure, so there is that airy quality that comes through. Which again, if you adjust your vowels to maximize your resonance. I would suggest that I would say that you singing in falsetto in terms of breath is actually harder. You have a constant seeping source of air. So if you want to sing through an entire phrase in falsetto, it's significantly harder to do that than it is to sing it in not falsetto, because you don't have to worry so much about your air. Countertenors are masters of breath, almost universally, because they have to be. There's no choice but to be. So anyway, I'm not comparing the two of you. No, it's fine. Like, drawing comparisons between two YouTubers is something that's in my YouTube analytics. You know, it's just, you know, I'm not the only person in the niche, right? Everyone has their own different thing. So the comparisons are fine. It's helpful, right? Because like a lot of people were saying, at first when I was doing a lot of gospel,
people were saying that I was the Bill Nye of the human voice, which is high praise. I think that's not, that's excessive praise, because Bill Nye was actually a scientist. I have an undergraduate degree. I would have gotten a master's degree, but ain't no one got money for that. So, and I wasn't good enough to get a scholarship or a free ride or anything like that. So Mariah's, yeah, that's why Mariah, yeah, that constant air leak from the nodules, yeah. Yeah, so that, and that, the way that the belting works, so like a nodule is, I love this thing, by the way. This is like the best investment. It's like $5. So a nodule is a buildup of callus. So like, you know, like I have a lot of callus on my fingers from guitar, right? So a nodule is actually just a buildup of dead skin. The problem in why nodules make singing a little bit trickier is because when you sing without nodules, you have pretty, oops, you have pretty even closure, right? Now imagine you have a nodule, like, right? So this is here. Fuck. There you go. So now your closure is not even, right? So that's what a nodule does. So vocal closure is not complete, and it can fuck with pitch because the nodule can actually split the folds. Like, you know, there will be closure on this side because the nodule is here, and then there's closure on this side, right? So you have like you have two different openings. This is a bit extreme, an example. You'll have two different openings, and that's what a nodule does. So, but the reason I think why belting makes that a non-factor for the most part, because this little nodule here, you know, during a belt, you're basically shortening the vocal folds. Find the nodule, right? Like, it's not really there. It's not of the same consequence. So, if anything, might protect you when belting. Don't recommend though. Yeah, Bill Nye can science like a motherfucker. I was gonna have a professor of voice, with a background in mathematics from Harvard. I emailed him, and he's interested, but I need to respond to his email. So, and he's the one who taught me pedagogy at Temple University. The person who I learned from after the fact is somebody who I'd love to have on, Diane Gary. Diane is not a formal, she works at universities. She is not like backed by university funding or has tenure or anything like that. She is singing Yoda. The people that know she exists understand that she's a master. But Diane didn't study, she didn't finish her master's in, it was something to do with the voice. It was either linguistics or whatever. She didn't finish her master's because she found that for teaching the human voice, Alexander technique was actually superior. So she just went and did that. And she has a bunch of certifications and is a master teacher in a lot of different certifications, but she's not a scientist. So I don't get to like drop that term. But I will have Diane on, because she's a fucking badass. She's singing Yoda. She's the best teacher and most knowledgeable in terms of applicable information to the human voice. Things that if you know you can apply, Diane. The best that I've ever found in the world. She's so good. One of my former teachers, when I studied with Diane, was conductor, and he conducted Pavarotti. This guy was not small potatoes. All right, this guy was a really, you know, he studied under Nadia Boulanger. You probably no one knows what that is. It's a very like hipster classical music thing to know who Nadia Boulanger is. Like you're fucking like, you know what I mean? But she's a big deal, and she wrote him a letter of recommendation. he studied under a lot of great people, and he had a chance to go to like the in vogue master teacher of Alexander technique at one point in time, and he said Diane's better. Diane Gary is a fucking, she's Yoda. She is the vocal Yoda. I really want to have her on. So anyway, sorry. It's neither here nor there. Yoda's, yeah. We need a Yoda song. That is honestly AI generated like deep fakes of voice. All of these people doing Trump and all this other shit. Give me some Yoda doing some trap music. That's what I want to hear. Dope as a motherfucker I am. Where is it? Who is this, Tank? Sorry, I went on a fucking rant about the experts I want to have on. Oh, you don't like Bill Nye because he's anti-religion. Yeah. Stamper is difficult. Could you ever get her in front of a beatboxer? Diane wouldn't know what to do with a beatboxer. What I really respect about her is that if she doesn't know something, she'll say, I don't know, so I can't take your money. And it's a crime that Diane isn't more well known. She abhors advertising. Like, I tried to get her to do like YouTube and all this shit. I was, even if it was just like filming students, and she was like, yeah, fuck that. She doesn't advertise. She does write in academic journals, but because she's not associated with a university, she doesn't have that sort of backing. So unfortunately right now she's working like stocking shelves at like, she's an older woman, and I've never seen a bigger waste of talent and ability than that. But I don't have a lot of cash flow at the moment. So I can't just like have these individuals on yet. So I will, because I'm not gonna ask Diane to come on for free. And same with Lawrence and Dick, and frankly I'm feeling the same way about Reed Blaylock. And also beatboxers. If I do a podcast, I want to pay people for their spot until it's like majorly viewed. Because like I felt bad because like I had to make a bunch of videos with Dr. Blaylock and put it on Reddit and do all that stuff for him to get the attention I feel he's worth, and still wasn't enough. Mitch Grassi sings mostly in masked voice. I don't even know how to do it, and that's also part of your upper register. Mask refers to a physical stimuli. I don't know if I'd use it as a vocal category. Because there's a lot of different ways to highlight frequencies using different vowels and different like tilts, and just adjusting the vocal track can bias resonance towards certain frequencies. What we generally associate with the mask are frequencies that hit the sympathetic resonance of our nasal passage. So generally higher frequencies, right? And so we feel that when there's that sympathetic resonance. Same with chest voice. We hit frequencies that hit the sympathetic resonant frequency range of our chest cavity. So we feel that, we feel mask. But that's not necessarily the best way to go about approaching singing, because you can bias frequencies, bias your vocal tract to highlight those frequencies, and you'll feel the mask resonance and you'll associate it as being positive, and then it might just not be what you need to be doing. That was the trap that I went to. A lot of like all of my vocal coaches, early vocal coaches and teachers, even one professor was like, that's what you want. But I find that if you insist on it at all, people get into certain parts of their range and they end up like kind of pushing, for lack of a better term, because they want that resonance to feel like they're doing a good job. So that's why I get careful with using mask as a term. I used to feel nerdy knowing who MB14 was. Seagulls? What type of pain, like emotional, physical pain? If you're talking about what just happened, both. Like, my stomach still hurts. Like, I ate one of the world's spiciest chips. It was a corn chip. I use the different words to describe the different ways I'm using each register. Well, I mean, Ting, I think your terminology works wonderfully for you. I think you're a good singer. So if the terminology works for you, keep it. At the end of the day, the utility of the jargon is what matters, in my opinion. I'm not on a crusade to make sure everyone uses the right fucking word. All I want is to help people sing better. That's it. I don't care how that happens. If I give you imagery, I hate imagery, but sometimes it just works for people. If I said, imagine a blender shaving the insides of your throat, and that got them to sing beautifully, that's the fucking metaphor that they use. I'll just let them know that doesn't work for everybody. It's an amazing song. It's a classic. I'll have to check it out. Oh boy, my stomach is in so much fucking pain. I can't believe it's only been an hour stream. I have no idea how well this video is gonna do. At all. Let me see the CTR of the thumbnail on the live stream. Actually, I can't until a little bit more time has passed. All right, y'all. Coming up, we're going to go over Leandria Johnson for the live stream. Because she's fucking amazing. And I just want to listen to Leandria Johnson because that's where I'm at right now. I'm not religious. I do not abhor religion. I think for a lot of people, there's utility in religion. But gospel singing, religious or not, comes from deep, like, life experiences. And when Leandria Johnson sings, to me, Jesus would be like a metaphor, and she'll sing about, like, you know, Jesus and even in the trailer that I did, which I'll pull up right now, in the trailer that I did for her, you know, she had some really difficult life situations, and the, you know, her belief, her spiritual belief got her through those tumultuous experiences. So I really respect her, and I love gospel singing for that very reason. Let me get, is this the one? No. Where did I put that thing? I can put it here. Is this the one? I think this is the most recent one. I changed it a little bit. I'll put this on. This is I love this. This is a great teaser for me. By the way, for those who are around me talking about my depression being rectified by this, it did a pretty fucking good job. There's more than one reason to do this shit. Don't recommend it though for others. Here's the trailer I have for
What's your testimony? Right before I got here, I lost my house.
oh, let me check if the volume is, yeah, monitor only. Good, we're good.
What's your testimony? Right before I got here, I lost my house, my car. Lord, what else to do? You know, growing up in church all my life, I was told that, you know, you had to be on point at all times, and, you know, you got to fight through, and you can make it, and God was still there with me.
I actually edited it a bit more. I don't like that old version. I thought it was bringing up the new one. This is I know it's like two different edits, but I for me it was like a work of passion. I spent a lot of time on it yesterday.
What's your testimony? Right before I got here, I lost my house, my car. Lord, what else to do?
No, that's not the right one either. What happened? Did I not export it? It was better. I changed a few things in my mind. Made all the difference in the world. Is anybody going to give a fuck? Probably not. Should they give a fuck? Probably not. It's just one of those things is like, you know, like I'm being an artist, which I usually don't advocate for. Yeah. Let me get that up. I cut it down too. I think I did a better job with this one. I don't understand why fucking Filmora crashes and does all this shit.
What's your testimony?
Okay. All right. Sorry to show this another time. I'm very proud of this.
What's your testimony?
Right before I got here, I lost my house, my car. And I was just like, well, Lord, what else to do?
You know, growing up in church all my life, I was told that you had to be on point at all times, and you know, you got to fight through, and you can make it. And God was still there with me.
It occurs to me that the text in that last bit is not centered, which is going to annoy the crap out of me. But, you know, no one cares. I don't think anyone else cares other than me. Anyway, yeah, I spent way too much time on that yesterday, but I'm trying to work on my video intros, so that's why, like, in the beginning of the stream, I literally just started reading the fucking warning signs in that box. A song, if you want a reaction. I can't believe I just realized you don't have a reaction to it. 20 million views, 800k subs, and 10 months, no label. All right. Like I said before, I already put it in the Discord channel. Video is almost done, I see. Yeah, you came in at the tail end of it. But yeah, that'll be it. Neil deGrasse Tyson does the same thing, so smart and very educational, but a complete asshole. I don't know. I think people who virtue signal by virtue of demeaning folks who are religious are making enemies when they don't need to. You know, because everyone's like, every war was started by like some, like, what was it? Religion is often used as an excuse for war. Let's be real. If humanity goes to war, they don't fucking need a religion to do that. There has been evil done in the name of religion, but you can't also, like, there is the juxtaposition of good things have been done in the name of religion as well. So, I thought you asked me to do it. My bad. Yeah. Thanks, Defiant. Thank you for Drop Barracuda for kind of figuring that out. Okay. Yeah. Actually, I had a great conversation with a colleague of mine who, when I was doing grocery work, you know, this dude is super fucking hardworking, you know, even though he was like kind of a right-wing nut job, he still was like, if I had my way, Zimmerman would have, we don't need to talk about that shit. But he was trying to argue with me about evolution, and I just said, like, evolution is just pragmatic. It's a pragmatic idea. It explains shit. It's logically consistent. And he's like, and eventually after a long time in the car, and we were just talking about this, and he's like, well, people use that as a reason to attack my religion. And I say, well, those people are assholes. For all we know, God used evolution. Now, again, I'm not religious at all, for so many reasons, but I do think it's kind of a dick move. Just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it's not good for other people. Eric Clapton started being religious because alcoholism was killing him. They were debating doing a surgery on Clapton. It was a very experimental surgery where you would go, it's an invasive brain surgery. It is a last-ditch effort to help someone from alcoholism that is becoming lethal to their person. They cut into the brain and they try to fix it that way. That shit is real. I never appreciated how terrible addiction could be until I read his biography. And he said when he just answered the questions, like, as far as why I became religious, it just kind of works. So like, you can't condemn people for getting through, you know what I mean? Just let people get through. I can believe in God and also believe that the evidence, yeah. My mother always told me, who is pretty Catholic, she always told me that the Bible was a metaphor. On what I sent you, I guess you can see why I'm interested in what you think about him as a vocalist. Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. God, I mean, that's why I kind of want to exclusively stream on Twitch for that reason, or at least Kick. And Twitch. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good idea for me to do all of these running around different things. I should prepare the fucking live streams and do them on every site. That's what I should do. So, and that's going to be what happens next. We're going to do Leandria Johnson today. Brenda's been at it for many years. 19, he signed to Sony, who found him busking before they could cut an album. He got very, very sick and they dropped him. They diagnosed him for a decade and mismedicated him for things he didn't have at that time. Yeah. The music industry is a fucking terrible industry. Personally dislike religion, but I don't hate religious people unless you start to infringe on everyone else's rights. Yes, I will agree with that. I think it works both ways. If religion helps people get through, awesome. If you are using it to hurt other people who are trying to get through, you're a dick. You're an asshole. You're harming people. Just, you know, so anyway. Okay. My stomach is fucking murdering me. I need to go and try to see what I can do to alleviate that. Probably eat some food. And then we'll be back for Leandria Johnson, which will be great. All right. Excited to get to that. So thanks for all tuning in to watch this stupid fucking experiment. Thank you to Robert. Man, I appreciate you so much. I wish direct messaging still was a thing on YouTube, because I would direct message you and give you a personal thank you. I appreciate you. So thank you so much. It helps. All right.